I missed the entire podium. I didn't know where I was. I was lost. It's because I didn't see Hugh anywhere. I passed him, and then I realized that they're separating us. You know, this is almost a mano a mano. You know what I mean? We're almost in competition with our friends on the other side. It's a very disturbing feeling, I must tell you. But anyway, it's a deep honor for me to be here with you, and it's been my deep honor this week to be with my heroes. These great fellows of talk radio have been our lifeline. And they are unrelenting in their efforts to bring to our minds and souls the truth of what we're facing right now, and they're doing it so effectively, and they're keeping us in the game, and they're educating us, and we have a great debt to them, as to the folks on Fox News, and so many other people who are raising our sights and challenging us all to get into the battle. Great people. And you all are great people. And I will answer Hugh's request to get into my character of Van Helsing and share something with you. But I wanted to start with this tribute to the military. I've spent a lot of time in hospitals, visiting our wounded warriors. And I heard this, on the Democratic Convention, this great tribute to our Vice President, Joe Biden, by President Clinton, as to how he ended the war in Iraq. And it made me, it disturbed me. I was trying to, I got to be very cautious about how I pose these things. But I was really disturbed about that characterization of how we got out of Iraq. I visit these people in the hospitals, and I'll tell you just one little vivid memory that I had. I was going into hospital rooms, and they'd say, "John, would you, so-and-so's in there, his family's in there, and he'd like to see you." Because you don't want to go in when these guys are, out of sorts, or, maybe needing sleep, or whatever it is. You're tender, and they may not be able to see you. And they said, well, this person, this is a young girl, John. She's a Spec 4, and she's just back from Iraq. And so I walk in the room, and let's say her name is Joan. Joan is lying on the bed. No, she's on a couch, actually, in front of the bed. And she has a leg missing. And she's a beautiful young girl. She's about 24. And her father's standing next to her, looked like an Indian, American Indian. He's very stoic, very tall, powerful man, quiet. And I walked into this room, and she said, "Come on in, John. Come on in. Here, sit down. I got lots of room because I lost this leg." So I sat down with her, and we talked. And I asked her, I said, how did you get involved in this? And she said, well, I just got out of school, college, and I was going down to a party. It was about a 4-hour drive. And I began about halfway there. And I said, what am I doing with my life? So many things are going on in the world, and I'm not contributing. I know there's a lot of problems, and I'd like to help out. But look what I'm doing. I'm going down here to a party. She stopped right in the middle, turned around, went back, and signed up. Now, I know that this is a vocation like any other. These people feel a calling. Not everybody. Some people are going in there just to get some education toward a career that, will help them when they come out. Some people are a little idle and they don't know what to do with their lives. Maybe I'll spend a couple of years in service, pick up some money. There's that. But for many, this is their calling. And they know exactly what they're doing. Now, I have to say that it makes me heartsick to sit there in these hospitals with these young soldiers, missing limbs, sometimes blinded, and they ask themselves, has all this been in vain? When they see Obama pull the troops out of Iraq and leave this a haven for our enemies in the way he did it. As far as I'm concerned, he has turned Iraq over to our enemies on a platter.
Yes, he has.
And he's doing the same thing in Afghanistan.
Yep.
I did this now, switch gears a little bit. And who took that responsibility? Joe Biden. He was this administration. I'm getting upset because I tell you, don't let him hear me now. Don't let him hear me. Mike Medved thinks he was angry today. Nothing. I'm telling you. This administration was handed a victory in Iraq, won by our fellows and gals, and their blood, and America's treasure. And all they had to do was negotiate a new status of forces treaty. They failed to do it. And to create a strategic partnership with the only democratic state in the Arab world. And they failed to do it. They let it all crumble in front of them. And now our enemies are moving back in. Have a welcome mat back into Iraq and Afghanistan. Let us pray that on November 6th, this administration is taken out of business, and Mitt Romney comes in, and maybe we can rescue those two precious places in the world. And now to just answer Hugh's request, I'm sorry for taking, Dennis, I'm sorry for taking this much time. But because I'm telling you, these guys, listening to these guys, being with these guys have been a tremendous treasure for me because I don't have to pull off the road to make notes. I'm here. I'm right here. Anyway, I did this movie very recently, and it was a Dracula picture, you see. And I'm pardoned for doing it because when I was a young kid, I used to go to all these movies and get excited about them. So I got a chance to play Van Helsing. And I got a chance to say phrases like this on camera. You don't want to be alone when the undead return. It's my habit to try to make these movies give some meaning to the movies. And so as I was reading this, I said, this is pretty interesting. This is about good and evil, and I can certainly, maybe I can contribute to this. It's about sacrifice. It's about, it's about bravery, lots of things like that. I said, this is good. And then I came to one section and I said, I can write it. What really needs is, I need to write something here. About this battle and the people who take it on. So I composed it. Now, in this scene, I'm in a tavern and I'm talking to a demon slayer, you see. And I say to him at the top of the scene, I said, what we are fighting here is no ordinary demon, but a vampire. Lord Dracula is as strong as 100 men, and as cunning as he is strong. To drink from his blood, you become one of them. Then I go through this thing. Then I describe a terrible thing. And if you get bitten, it's even worse. Then you have to be bitten. You just pray for a quick death and all of this. And then I turn to the demon slayer. I say to the demon slayer, these words, I say, so, my warrior friend, now that I have told you all of this, is this danger a price you are willing to pay? And he says, I do not fear it. And then I say to a couple of my disciples there, young people, I say, pay attention, young ones. Because I'm impressed with his courage, this man. And I say, throughout history, whenever barbaric poisons have taken hold and evil seems poised to flood the earth, heroes have always risen up, willing even to sacrifice themselves that future generations may have the opportunity to seek peace. These heroes